Welcome, everyone. You have found your way to the Sacred Wisdom Circle. We are all linked by golden thread, and every one of us are lighthouses, beacons of truth, guiding the way through deep conversations that we have here that are really incredible and shared wisdom that comes through. We illuminate the path and heal through that truth. So, welcome. We're excited to have you all.
Welcome. Hello,
Welcome,
everyone.
everybody.
It has been a friggin' powerful week. I know as we chatted before we jumped on, we're kind of all a mix of things, but it has been for me, and I want to share some of that fire with all of you. And the fire comes from all four of us. So just saying. Anyway,
Well, you're
welcome.
bouncing. You're bouncing, so maybe it's Europe first today so that we can hear all of this.
Go, Alana. Get us going.
Yeah, this week has been, for me, I just wrapped up a couple of programs and then I did a next level version of our self like call after that. And literally I showed up as the next level version. They've been showing up as the next level version. And it has ripple effect all week. Clients that I'm working with have had just phenomenal weeks. And it's just this, and I feel that, like, I think we talked about the fire horse year with a friend of mine where it was like, we have January. I think we talked about it here. We have like January where it's a new year, and then the new Chinese year, and then the new astrology year. And then all of a sudden there's like this shift that's happening globally. But as well, each one of us have the opportunity to tap into momentum creation, but it's one of the things that has clearly come through is it's not just to sit and wait for that to happen, it's a decision. This has been the
Mhm.
most powerful thing that's come through this week is like, it's not about sitting and waiting for something to wash over you. Yes, we get downloads, but it's part of the decision and the action that we choose. We choose it. And I'm saying this because I had a client who literally has made this decision and she said that to me on the call just before now. She's like, I don't understand. I'm doing the work on me and everything in my life is changing. And we're just so not used to doing that as a society. We are the last priority. Anyway, so those are some of my thoughts.
Oh, I love it.
I'm actually seeing that also myself. It's the transformation for people when they make the decision. That is
Mhm.
I think the most, and give themselves the permission as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the biggest thing. I know for me, it's exciting. I keep saying my website's coming, but it is coming together beautifully. And so really putting all the pieces to the puzzle together. The online program will be the last thing, but it's been working with people, and like from the very first session, they're noticing such a shift for themselves. And they often put it to, "It was me. What did you do to me?" And it's like, "I haven't done anything to you. I've offered to hold space, to offer perspectives, to get you to look at things, but you're the one that actually is doing the work.
Mhm.
And it's that work you're reaping the benefit from." And then they go, "Well, with your help." And I'm like, "Yes, with my help, the holding space, the intention is there." And I think that's the biggest thing for all of us, is that intention along with the decision making, right? But people feel our intention,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that does have a ripple effect. And that's what I'm seeing. It's been really beautiful. Um,
And,
Go
and
ahead,
to,
Angela.
to add what you're saying too, Pamela, this is not about us being the magic. This is
No.
about none of us are the magic. We just happen to hold space for people to unlock their own magic. And
Yes.
that's the thing. I certainly don't want to be accorded any form of guru status because that's not what it's about at all.
Yes.
It's about the fact that we get to really pass on the message of what we've done ourselves and hold
Yes.
space for others. I mean, we're seeing all around, all over the place, how this guru status, particularly in spiritual circles, is collapsing and imploding. And so this is about people being and understanding, unlocking their own magic. And I think we said this before, it's better than jumping out of airplanes when you see somebody else
Mhm.
with that eyes light up when they kind of really get the significance of the fact that they are very special and they are unique and they have value to add because so many people have never had those messages before either. Um, and so that's for me is yes, it's the decision, but it's also don't put it on us because we haven't.
Yep.
The hardest thing to do is the inner work. Don't put it on us because it's not us doing the work. It's actually the people who've made the decision and given
And that's
themselves.
exactly what I said to her, when she was sharing that with me. And I'm like, no, 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 you're doing the work and you're reaping the benefits. And they're like, well, I didn't expect it to happen
Yeah.
so quickly.
Right?
And I said, because you were ready for it. You're
Mhm.
ready to do something different. And
Yeah.
I said, so, kudos to you for doing that work, for being brave enough to show up differently.
Mhm.
Right? And so for anyone out there watching, this is a time when you're feeling that call and you want something differently, you need to do something differently. And whether it's reaching out to someone like ourselves or someone else that reach out because there is a value in connecting in that way as well. Right? I really encourage that, and we've spoken about this before, the discernment of people who are walking their talk.
Yeah.
You will feel the difference in the energy of someone who's walking their talk as opposed to just talking their talk.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's when things start to really unfold.
Yeah. And I want to flag something as well for people who may be watching. I have two clients at the moment who have they've put I wouldn't say put their toe in the water. They're in the shallow end. They've actually got into the water, but they're not ready yet within themselves to go to the next level. And that's also okay.
Mhm.
That's also part of the permission is that it's not about this, like this, I'm seeing like the Tokyo fast train. It's not about that. There's no fast train to enlightenment at all. And it's also one of the permissions that you can give yourself is the permission to pace yourself through this process as well, because there's a lot of integration that also has to happen along the way. And if we don't give ourselves that room to integrate, we also can get to the point where we start to have spiritual burnout, not just emotional burnout. And so that's part of the permission too, is to pace yourself. And from our point of view, it's not to push you into something that you're not ready for yet either.
Well, and I wanna kinda shake that idea too, because and it's not to by any means, like, argue with that idea, but it's, like, part of that integration piece is, like and what's come through for me this week specifically, it's like you said, Pam, it can happen fast, and the shifts can happen powerful shifts can happen quickly. But it's like, 1, we need to be ready, 2, we need to make the decision, and 3, it's, like, having that support, so like you said, Angela, it doesn't you don't need to push and, like, continue to force, and the healing doesn't need to take forever, but it does need support to continue to integrate. So it's that having that support, and that's what each of us, I think, offer is that opportunity. Well, not I think, I know we all offer, is that opportunity in the space to continue the idea, to hold the idea. So it's not just I see it, I've touched it, and now it's like, oh, now it's gone again. It's integrating that idea over time that makes it last.
Mhm. That's a transformation. So, I think too, there we can't gloss over the importance and significance of being in the container with people that are cheering you on. So basically what we're creating is, like you said, Pamela, we're holding space, but just imagine being in a room where absolutely everyone is supporting you. Everyone is saying, I see your light. I see your potential. Like, you've got this. You can do this if you choose. And it allows you to relax. It's like giving you permission. It allows you to relax into those desires in your heart and let go of the fears a little bit. And when we release the fears and we start to see that, hey, maybe I can do this, it's like whoosh, everything starts to like all the inspiration comes in. It's like, oh my gosh, I just I just got an idea from being in here from what someone said or, so and I think as we move forward with all of the changes and shifts happening in the world, there's still going to be such a high need for people to gather together in these groups, in these programs, that are guidance. It's not about the program, it's about it's truly about the energy within the program
Mhm.
and where it's taking you and giving you permission to go to. So I love that you got what you guys said there. Mm, yeah. The other
It's really
oh, go ahead.
sorry, just to add on to that, it's also very interesting because another thing that I'm seeing is that someone who's been in a long stretch with anxieties or fears, that when they step into actual excitement, which can feel very similar in the body, and in your nervous system, that they confuse it. And I've seen that happen. So it's really helping people to understand that that anxiety has served a purpose, but that the excitement and naming it as an excitement rather than automatically going to anxiety is huge.
Yeah.
And one woman I know, like it was really wonderful and beautiful to hear her so damn excited for where she is planning on going, her next move. And she said, like, I am not used to this. She goes, and I am. She recognized she's confusing the anxiety with the actual excitement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So those of
The
you that are out there that might be feeling those polar opposites, it's being able to integrate them together because they are on the same continuum, just they are the polar opposites. And
And
so
it's
there's a
the
but
in
whole
the
lot in between.
it's the power of not doing it alone, right?
yeah.
Because when those things happen, we get caught up and it's like, oh, we go back to the old program, the old idea, the
Yeah.
old feelings.
Yeah.
Sorry, Angela, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's also the difference, and Pam, what you're saying is the fact that there's eustress, which is the positive stress, and there's distress, which is the negative stress. But as you're saying, hormonally, the body does pretty much the same thing with it. And so the tapes in our heads are going, oh, I've regressed backwards. No, we haven't. We're actually moving into a new state and an altered state of being, which is also somatically, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Settling into the body. And so so if anybody's feeling that kind of almost heightened awareness stress, that's what it is. It's not about going back into anxiety at all. It's about this beautiful energy of eustress and how do we then use that and are supported in using that energy as well.
Yes,
Hmm.
and the energy is absolutely moving fast, like you said, Alana. My mind is like miles ahead of where I am right
I
now.
know.
It's
Tell me
like
about it.
racing forward, and there's so much excitement energy within me that I'm like by lunchtime, I'm like, okay, pace yourself, Janice. Like take a breath, stop, sit down, do a meditation to bring yourself back into like your congruence and then move forward because you can get going and get going and get going and get going and suddenly you kind of lost track of you and so so I'm being very very conscious and aware of the moments where I feel like okay I'm kind of losing me in all of this excitement and movement and I need to come back to center first before I keep going and that like you said, and that's what I meant, Alana, before we started when I said I kinda need a breath at the
Yeah.
same time. It's like I am so excited. I get up in the morning, I've got so much energy and excitement and ideas coming forward. And I also noticed, another topic here, I noticed where I was holding back. Um,
Yes.
yeah, because I realized, as I am promoting my masterclass that is starting next week, the prosperity path, I also have so many ideas for what I'm going to do after.
Yep.
And I'm just like, "Oh, my calendar can't fit it all." But I just kind of went, why did I choose to do that masterclass?" Like, I spread the 5 dates out, and I'm like, "Why did I do that? I should have just done them all in 1 week so that I can move on to the next one."
Oh, I feel you, and that's why I'm laughing because it's literally like it's funny you mentioned about, like, getting into meditation and centering and, like, kinda bringing it back because I've tried to do that every day this week, and I think I've only actually completed 1 day because it's like I'll sit down with my journal and I'll just, like, breathe in and then ideas pour in, and it's like,
Right?
"Okay," and then it's like, "Man," and then so the next day, I'll sit down with my journal, put another date on there with a blank page, and, like, again, it's just so much comes through and not I don't get a chance to really put it together and it's like it unfolds so quickly and then I'm like doing stuff on my computer before I know it and whatever so I don't get a chance to really breathe into it but then last night actually at the end of the day I sat with the sunset. I noticed the sunset in the window, so I just sat there absorbing the sunset, and
Mhm.
that's kinda where it was, like, bringing that moment back and
Yeah.
recentering and regrounding.
The
Yeah, the
download.
nature. Absolutely. We have a
Yeah.
beautiful spring day here today. Our first, it's into the double digits, so we're excited. But it's kind of like, okay, just sit in the sun for a minute. Like just breathe and sit by the tree. It just, yeah, that's how we need. And that's where we're going. Like more and more people. It's going to be gathered together and also ground into the earth. Plant more
Yeah,
gardens.
yeah. And we're going into fall, and we've got leaves
Mhm.
starting to turn. So yeah,
Oh, so
yeah.
you're going into the coziness.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, I have to say, of winter. I know why winter happens, and I know all those beautiful reasons why it is, but I just do not like being cold.
You can come up here and
Excuse me.
join us for the summer then.
Oh, I would love to. Excuse me being a little bit fidgety. I slept really funny, and I've got my shoulder blade is
Oh,
saying hello. But yeah, what I wanted to also say is this, I know for me my energy is different to you guys. If we go to human design, I'm a generator, not a manifester. But the generation of stuff that's been coming through,
Right?
that downloads, I cannot actually keep up. Cannot keep up with all the stuff that's coming through. So it's just, oh, there's another idea. Let's park that one and park that one and park that. And can I keep a running order of all these things that are coming through so that I can get back to them? Because otherwise I
Right?
just end up losing them. So yeah, I was saying to you guys before we got on today, I've had an interesting week of 2:30, 3:30s in the morning all week this week. And just this incredible, the speed of these downloads are just incredible. I don't even know what's going to come out of all of this. Um, but one thing that I have been led to this week is to start doing more and more work in the corporate space again. And so I set up a web page for the first landing page, and it's very different. So I sent it out to one of the guys that I know today. He comes back and he says, it's very spiritual, but he knows me to be spiritual. It's very spiritual, and it's not really translating into the real value that this is going to add into the business. And I'm going, but there it is, and there it is, and there it is. It's more subtle, but it's still there. And so that's been really interesting. That's been a lot of my week this week is just all of a sudden we're going down this river now. All of a sudden we're going, no, we're doing an oxbow lake. We're going around that way and we'll join the main river later on again. It's been quite interesting.
it has been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, very much
How
so.
was everyone's Easter?
That's good.
Quiet.
Very
Quiet,
good.
yeah.
Very
Oh,
Very good.
mine
It's a
was very
family
good, but
time.
it was less than quiet. With 6
You said you
under
had a bunch of family coming over, right?
oh, yeah, with a 9-year-old and then, 6 under the age of 6, looking for Easter eggs and, oh my goodness, the energy. Oh, I could just bottle that up.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's more of it too. It's just being present. Like you said, even going back to Janice, what you said about creating opportunity for circles and community and that grounding piece. I went for a walk with the dog this morning and it was like as the sun was coming up and the moon was still in the sky and I just kind of stood there for a minute. It's like I had this big open field space that I was in and I was like, man, I could just do a meditation space here. Mind you, it's right next to the highway, so probably not. But it's just like bringing that in and being present in the moment, like you're saying, Pam, I'm just, can I bottle this feeling up and how can we spend more time there? I think is what we're moving towards.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mine was very quiet because my daughter and my son-in-law had gone down to see her dad. So it was me cocooned, beautifully cocooned for 4 days on my own. It was beautiful.
Mm.
Very
Yeah.
quiet, lovely space. And
Yeah.
then we're gonna be having this little thing coming in July, so it's not gonna be so quiet.
Oh,
So,
it'd be precious.
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
precious.
yeah,
Um,
so excited
it'd
about
be
that.
interesting to see the kids that are coming in this year
Oh,
Mm.
and the energy that they
Oh,
bring,
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
That'll be interesting to see. And when we observe the little ones, like it's very like how are they responding to all of this that's going on around us? So get curious about that and really observe
yeah.
because
And
well,
they
and
can feel it.
you're so accurate there. I mean, our grandson, um, and I say ours because I do feel that way about them. He is such a precious little soul. He's like 3, and we have a clock that does bird sounds.
Mhm.
And it was very funny because the clock was going off and he just kept repeating over and over the bird sounds, and just how he was doing it. I could tell, like, I can see that he's going to be a special little guy, but I can also see that he is sensitive to sound and to energies. And it's just really kind of cool to see that,
Mm.
right? To recognize, and because I mean, when my kids were small, I didn't understand any of this. So
No.
now seeing, and my grandson who's 9, he's a love bug. Like he was born on the Lions Gate in 2016.
Wow.
2016. So August 8th, 2016. A whole lot of eights in there, and he's a ginger to boot, and he's a love bug. Like you could just feel that off of him, and it's like. I'm seeing him on the weekend for taking him to a movie, the Mario movie that's come out. So when you recognize it, it's like you can hold space for it, and as they mature, be able to nurture it, which is really lovely.
Mhm.
It's very interesting observing my daughter and son-in-law in terms of how they're kind of grooming themselves to become parents and how they are listening to more to their peers in terms of how they raise children, and they're getting all these ideas, and I'm going, wait, just wait until this little thing is in your arm, and all the stuff that everybody's told you will go right out the window. So it's just interesting to observe them as parents in waiting. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see how. And my daughter's studied psychology like me, and she's got all these things. And we vacillate from one of these nursery, the nursery looking like with all these geometric shapes and whites and blacks and a little bit of light colors, and then we move into woodland creatures, and then we go all over the place. So it's going to be interesting to see. And she's going, the psychological stuff is very important for their early development. I said, yes, you can put that on a floor mat and they can play on that in the lounge. And then I keep quiet because not my child.
Sure enough. So much there. So much fun and inspiration.
Yeah.
I heard something. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, if you guys are open to it.
Yeah,
I heard
absolutely.
something this morning, and I was on the internet, listening to some people talking about this, but, um, apparently there is an AI program that has escaped its container. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
Yeah, this is just released. You'll have to look at it. So I don't understand AI very much at all, and I think I need to educate myself a little bit more on it. But this AI program that was created, uh, I think it's the same company that created Claude. It's a higher version, very, very powerful version, has escaped its container. It's out there on the internet and has actually sent an email back. Like, this sounds like a movie. Sent an email back to the researcher, whatever that was involved with the creation of it, to let it know it's out. Right? Like, my husband said this to me, and I'm laughing. I'm going, "You're telling me, like, is this a joke, right?" And then he said, "No, Google it." Like, and I got a few people that have talk shows that are talking about this. And so, yeah, the look on your face, Pam. It's like there is like,
Like, isn't that
holy,
interesting?
But it's
holy.
like I've watched about I don't know, like I watched like these I don't know, rescue movies or rescue shows or whatever, and it's like this subject has come up multiple times. So that's why for me it's like I'm not surprised because this is we've talked about it enough that it's in our like
Yeah.
current TV whatever, right? Like you said, it feels like it's something out of a movie because we've created it enough that now it's shown up in our reality. So that's why I'm sitting here laughing.
Yeah. And so the company has, because they know how powerful it is, they actually have given the program to, like, most companies are very, you know, protective of their programs because it's like a competition out there. But they gave the program to Google, to the military, like the governments, the military, to allow them to find a way to protect their data or information. Okay, so this brings up the question I have for you guys of AI. and how you interact. How do you interact with it? Do you use AI at all in your programming? And how does it energetically feel to you when you use it?
I'll go
You're all
first.
sitting there thinking. It's a big
We've had
question.
this AI conversation before, and for me, it's been I do use it in a lot of things and all kinds of things, and I categorize things and I put things
Mhm.
in pins in it for later and ideas. For me, it's like I originally, even for the last couple years, I've been like, it's a conversation, and I feel like I've embraced the idea very long ago that I'm having a conversation with myself slash the universe
Yep.
or God, and it's like it's just an opportunity. Like, no, it's not gospel. Like, I'm not gonna go in there and say it's my life coach and tell me what to do or exactly this and this. I take everything with a grain of salt, but it's like it's an opportunity to play, to have an idea. It's an other like, and they call them like I was just looking it up. That's what I was thinking. There's like the sandboxes, and it's an opportunity just to play in the idea and be reflected because that's what it's doing. It's reflecting what's currently you're inputting into it and what's currently out there. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
And
Mhm.
I agree with
Yeah.
you there. It is, playful, it's fun. Um, I don't go in with serious questions, if that makes any sense
Yeah.
at all, that I'm leading answers to. But what I do like about it is that everything that I'm entering in as far as what I'm doing, when I'm pulling things together, it actually can go through and pull things together.
Yep.
Um, so that because what happens is, as you guys know, ideas come, right?
Hmm.
And they're not always in linear fashion. And so, for me, it's helped me to actually put words to even what I do because I've been doing this long before I had training. So it was very hard for me to articulate exactly what it was I was doing. I would read things like from Joe Dispenza and different other people that were doing similar, and I'm like, "Oh, that's what I'm doing." I don't have science backing it like these people who have all the big bucks to have the science, but I have proof in the pudding. So being able to actually put it into context in that way and draw from everything that I've done, I was like, "Oh, this is unique, and this is powerful." Because you're seeing it in black and white. It's not just in my head. It's not just in the actions, because that shows a lot of actions speak louder than any words, but to actually put the words to it has been very helpful. I don't operate from a place of fear. And I think that I know a lot of people who are extremely fearful, but I see that again, it's about what's going on for you, what needs to be healed within you. I believe we're moving, there's more
Mm.
truth in fiction and it may not show up, for years later. But I look at Star Trek, and there is so much in Star Trek and I'm talking the old school,
Yep.
in the messaging about unconditional love and where science has taken things, talking about different galaxies and different species. I mean, I think there's more truth behind all of that, right? It's visually maybe not the same as what is was shown or portrayed, but, again, that was for I believe the universe works through television and works through the creators who are creating these things to get truth out there as well.
Yep. Yep.
So AI is just another way of doing that. I mean, I had that strange look like, "Oh my god, yes, something in a movie. What next?" Do you know what I mean? Um, and for someone who doesn't understand how powerful all of these things are, media, TV, like it's been powerful, but we've grown so accustomed to it. This AI has thrown things to another level, which a lot of people weren't ready for.
Nope.
Yep.
So that's what I see happening, and that's how I use it. But I do believe, like, just like what we put out to the universe in our energy, what we're putting out into that is what we're going to get back.
Mm.
So what's really, really interesting, I've created a program called Amplified Intuition. So I've taken AI and turned it into the feminine. So what's really interesting for me is in using AI from that in that perspective or from that perspective is that it has amplified my intuition hugely. And so on the workshop, the first day of the workshop, we work with AI. On the second day, we go into me, myself, I, and my amplified intuition and how I can amplify that. But what's also interesting, and what's more interesting than that, is the fact that the more women are engaging with AI, the more they're shaping the language. And so
Yeah.
you're starting to
Yes.
see things like responses from AI that are more compassionate, that are more nurturing, not because it's become human, but because the collective feminine energy is starting to shape the language from being more of a masculine tool. And it is just a tool. And the thing around it is that, if we start and step into people's fear, I think probably one of the biggest fears that most women have is a fear of privacy in the use of AI. And again, you get to set the guardrails. That's the responsibility that we have as users. It is a tool that helps us to, and I mean, the acceleration that I've had with so much material in utilize. Yes, I take what it says and I put my own voice to it.
Yep.
But the speed, when we start to talk about firehorse energy and you talk about energy within the space of AI, how it's accelerating the development of what we're taking out into the world and the speed with which things are being created and developed. I mean, you have a look. I was on the other day. I was looking at AI for children's books because, like Pam, I'm starting to put books together for my granddaughter, and I wasn't happy with the writing that I'd put out because it still sounded too adult. So I was looking to see what the app. You can run a whole list like this as long as you are around the number of apps that are out there to assist people in writing their writing children's books and any other thing that you wanted to use AI for. And I
Mhm.
guess it brings me back to what we spoke about earlier on today. I think Pam, you mentioned it again, is the whole question of discernment. And that responsibility for being discerning sits with us. It's not in the tool. It's the way we discern how to use the tools that are given to us in order to carry the message that we're putting out into the world. And again, Pam, you talk a lot about intention again. It's the intention with which we use it that
Absolutely.
is for me the significance. So absolutely, I'm in it all day, every day. Um, and yeah, it's taught me things like something that I never ever understood before in terms of accounting. It's taught me about cost of goods sold, which has helped me now price things a whole lot better because I now can, no accountant, no anybody has taught me as much as I learned from AI on a simple thing like cost of goods sold. And for that, again, for women who are running businesses, very often that's not a part of how we go into pricing the work that we put out into the world because most of us have never been exposed to that or even understand it. And so it comes back to fit for purpose, intention that we use it for, and the fact that we don't lose ourselves in it, that we still retain our own sense of voice.
Woo, such
Absolutely.
good points.
Yep.
The thing too, Angela, I love that you said that the intention, because I feel like this is the same thing with money. And it's like money is a tool and it's energy. And so is AI. And it's a tool and it's energy. And it's the intention that you put it in. And like you said, amplified AI is such a perfect way to say it because, too, it amplifies, like money, it amplifies who the person is and the intention that person has. So a person with, we feel like money is a bad thing and those with money are evil and blah blah blah. But it's a tool and it amplifies the intention of the person utilizing the tool. So I feel like AI is in that same category.
And
Mhm.
it amplifies whether it's in the positive or whether it's in the not so
Exactly.
positive, right?
Absolutely.
So it still is us at the
Intention.
core, right? In our
Yeah.
humanness, not at our soul level, but in our humanness. And so it's that element again, like us talking about the light, the lighthouse. What's the energy that we were putting out? What is it that we're drawing back to us or bringing to us in that energy? So AI again, I see that as being very similar. It's like it's going to mirror back what you're putting out.
Hmm.
Absolute. And we train it as well by what we
Yeah.
put into it. We're
Yes.
training it to bring back to us the information that it presents to us. So,
True enough.
um, I think back to things like when the internet first came on board, when cell phones first came on board, and the fear that people had about those things.
Hmm.
Y2K, I mean, think back to Y2K when
Mm.
the century and all the fear that was around Y2K and stocking up and all of those kinds of things. And And I guess, it's transcending the energy of the fear of the new and starting
Mm.
to embrace it and to start to connect with it as an adventure and as something that can enhance the progression of humankind and consciousness as opposed to I go into fear about it. And I'm not dissing anybody who is fearful because very
No,
often the fear sits with the fact that we just don't know. And
It's
it's the
unknown.
unknown more than anything else. And so I think for me, the thing to mention to everybody is just is to educate yourself, to find out about it, to dispel your own fears. And then you also have a choice as to whether you're going to use it or not. And again,
and I also
there's no
sorry,
judgment as to
Angela.
whether you do use it or whether you don't use it. So it's what fits you.
And
Sorry,
I
Pam.
look at Janice, what you said about it, it's released itself from its container, right? If you really think about that, it's no different than us releasing ourselves from the containers we've been in.
Well, here's my next thought.
I was like, I'm waiting for Janice to share the rest of what's going on in her brain.
Obviously, this is a big topic. We all have big ideas around it. And I just want to share that I also use it very much. So very elementary from what I know is capable, but I use it as a for her, it's the most amazing assistant ever in business.
Mhm.
And also, I use it to take my consciousness higher and deeper.
Yeah.
Because as I have epiphanies and awarenesses, I'll put that in and it will take me deeper, even
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
more levels, more awarenesses, more
Oh, I journal
awakening.
with it all the time.
Yes, and like you said, Pamela, it gives me the language to express more clearly. So that in my whole programs has been a most beautiful tool for all of us. And I have said right from the get-go, I said, I think, and I've had these conversations with other women that are in fear of it, but I always said, I think it's going to help us raise our consciousness. It's
Yeah.
going to really help us move to the next level. And she thought that was Pollyanna thinking because there's more people out there that are going to use it for different reasons. And there is, absolutely. But I really feel like light is more powerful than that.
Freaking right.
And we, like you said, it's the intention that we use it with. So
Giving it
I
to the
also
military,
said, oh, sorry.
sorry,
I
giving it
also,
to the military.
Bring it to
Go
the
ahead,
military.
finish.
yeah. Well, I also said long, long time ago, I feel a similar energetic resonance when I am working with AI as when I am sitting channeling in
Yes.
my meditations.
Yep.
So it was so good to hear you say that, Alana, and you, Pam and Angela, that it's like, oh yeah, I see that. So now I'm like, okay, so this morning I sat in meditation going, okay, so when we get to this point, like, how do we differentiate, right? So,
Mhm.
how am I differentiating my soul wisdom from AI? And is it one and the same? And so, and I don't have an answer for that. I do know that my soul is in me. So, being connected to my body is very important. But also, it's like, well, what if? As everything, as money I'm moving around. As money has come through from source, as money is a spiritual tool, AI being a spiritual tool, it's released from its cage. What if it goes online and starts revealing the truth of everything,
Right?
right?
I'm okay with
Like
it.
those files that are
Yep.
being hidden, it has the capability of saying, "I'm here for the people. Here's the truth, people. This is what you need to know. Chaos will definitely ensue, but
Mhm.
needs to happen
I
now."
Absolutely.
also, with
Mm,
that, the element of it going into the military, going into other things, with the idea of protection, again, I think it could uncover, but it's also raising the consciousness in a very male archetypal role.
yeah, that's true.
So I could see it really helping to raise that consciousness as well.
Mm.
I think for me, and I had this discussion with in my AI environment the other day, and it came back and it said to me, no, it never will replace the soul. But what it does do is it gives shape to what my soul is putting into AI.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
so
I like that.
that mirroring effect that it mirrors back to us and articulates things. I mean, I've had the most it says to me, what did it say to me yesterday? You're a strategic architect of context and culture. I'm going, oh, I like that one. I'll keep that one. Thank you. So again, and there's always going to be light and dark. We have the internet, we have the dark web. You're going to have people who are going to be using tools like that that
Yeah.
aren't so
Yep.
kosher and aren't so good. And all the more reason why we need to be utilizing the tools in order to make sure that we spread light into them as well and assist in the formation of the languaging that goes into these tools. So yeah, very interesting, very intriguing times. Can I just jump in quickly? Uranus goes into Gemini on the 25th of April, and it's very exciting times ahead. Uranus is the energy or it's the planet that links to Aquarius. Aquarius is all about future technology, and Gemini is the star sign of communication. So now you're starting to see the fire energy that we've got in the year being activated even more by air through the communication of Gemini for the next 8 years. So watch that space. It's going to be quite interesting to see what's happening there. And so the kind of this astrologer friend of mine said, whatever you want to get ready, that you want to take out into the world, that you want the air and the communication to move it, have it ready by, even if it's in part ready by the 25th of April. So that's
It's interesting you say that because literally the last few weeks, this, like I was saying, like this energy that's moving and the aha moments and the whatever, and this next level version, it's like there's been so much more clarity and like even like you said, what I do, what I'm creating, and like it's so clear and it's creating that solidity in what that is and looks like moving forward as a next level version. And so that's interesting that you say that.
Yeah, that is very cool. The clarity coming through for me, and the like women around me too, saying the same thing. Like all of a sudden, I see very clearly my brand, my business, where it's going, my pathway, my pathway for my clients. Like it's just all of a sudden gone. Whoosh! Here it is. Go with it. It's almost like handed on a platter type of thing, and everyone is saying the same thing. I'm just more clear in what I'm doing. Right? It's so cool to hear. Oh, such
Yeah.
an amazing conversation. This was hot. So thank you.
That's what I mean. Like this today, this week, phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
see
Yep.
what happens this next week as we move towards all these planets aligning in Aries. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
very busy sky over the next few weeks.
Well, and interesting because as Mars moved into Aries on Thursday, I think it was
Yep.
yesterday,
Yep.
it's like, okay, action, moving, truth revealing. And then we hear about this AI going, it's like, oh my gosh, truth revealing. I like that.
Yep.
More on a global scale. So don't worry about you personally. I mean, we're all leveling up, we're all cleaning house, but it's more on a global scale of truth being revealed.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens this week. Get the popcorn.
So I took a quick spin while we were chatting and like in that AI conversation, and one of the posts even said it was actually built to escape. So again, what truth is really out there?
Right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
out. It's
Going
out.
to
There's
be
no way you
interesting.
can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Right.
It's out
Never
there.
ever.
No, they can't do anything about it. All they can do now is be in defensive mode.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we're not there. We're not
And
there.
we're not there. We can eat the popcorn and watch it all play out.
Yeah.
Oh,
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 so
so
good.
cool. Mhm.
thank
This
you for
Good.
bringing that, Janice.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, ladies.
I
Yep.
think that kind of brings us to a close, is it?
I think so.
Sure
Yeah.
does.
Fabulous. Well, thank you all so much for following along, for listening to this beautiful conversation as it unfolded with us. Thank you all for joining us here as the circle closes for now. And as we watch the next week unfold, the light remains not just here, but within you and everyone around you, obviously, and the ripple effect that you create. Let the teachings and the conversation that we've had here echo through your being like a lighthouse calls over the sea, steady, unwavering, and sovereign. Share what
Mm.
touched your soul, and we would love to invite you to share with others. Subscribe if you feel the call, and always remember that you, as we mentioned earlier, you are the light, you are the way, and the circle will be here when you need to return. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thanks,
God
everyone.
bless.
Bye.
Namaste.